I'm Harry, the founder of Bush Bottles, and our mission is to fund the collection of plastic waste across southern Africa. To do this, we've partnered with Ellie Collection. Why Ellie Collection? Well, there's two reasons. The first is the practical side. So they truly have a unique solution that can be scaled across the entire continent. But there's also the personal side. They are three best mates with an incredible story and a mission so much bigger than themselves, which is to clean up southern Africa. Ben, Simon, Rainer, they generally are doers and not dreamers, and the right solution in the right hands will change everything. That's why we want to give them the ropes so they can climb that massive mountain.
My name is Ben Norton. I'm one of the co-founders of Ellie Collection. This is my office. My life is focused on cleaning up plastic in Victoria Falls.
My name's Simon Teed. I've been in the safari industry for, 10 years. Always wanted to protect the natural world, but never found a solution that I thought would work for me and for what I was trying to achieve. And then Ellie Collection was sort of forced upon me by a charging elephant. And now here I am today as the nominated CEO of Ellie Collection.
My name is Rainer Kaufeld, and I own a construction company here in Victoria Falls, and we've recently started Ellie Collection.
So Ellie Collection is a total solution to plastic waste. It's not a recycling solution in the sense that people have known it in Southern Africa for years. 20% of plastics can be recycled in Southern Africa, and only 5% actually do get recycled. We're a solution that can recycle even this chip packet, this dirty chip packet. That is not recyclable in any way, shape or form, except by our solution. So we turn that into a building aggregate for concrete. And the beauty of that as well is that what we turn it into is used everywhere, in every building created in the whole country. And it replaces quarry stone in a concrete mix. And so we can turn all of that into concrete. And that's the solution.
Essentially, after growing up here, after being in the bush and seeing how beautiful it is, extracting so many of our best memories, we looked at the state of it and how it's getting trashed, and we thought we need to solve this problem.
Our mission is to turn all of this into this with the help of these guys.
Ellie Collection was born at around this time of day, 3 years ago. I was kayaking the river with Larry Norton. You get some of the best whitewater in the world, rapids 1 to 5, and we would climb out and then run back to the car through the bush. And we came across 5 bull elephants, but in the distance, like a good 150 meters away, we could just see the humps of their backs, and that is not a threat. So we quietly walked off, and then we heard this scream. I don't know if you've ever heard an elephant scream, but the bush vibrates, and it was coming at us at 42 kilometers an hour, top speed in an elephant. And in a straight line, they don't dodge trees. There's just this hole coming through the bush. And I said to Larry, run! And we ran, and we tried to make it. We were trying to get to the railway line, which is where immigration and the bridge happen. Larry's a big mentor to me. He's also second father. He's also the father of Ben, who's now a partner in this. And I heard him scream, "Simon! Shout!" And I felt this chill up my spine, knowing that the elephant was now bearing down upon him. And I turned around. And when a bull elephant's charging you, as it gets closer, it puts its ears back and drops its head before it flattens you. And Larry, with great courage, I have to say, he made a last stand. And he stood and faced this elephant. He picked up a rock. As the elephant bore down upon him, he hurled the rock. hit the elephant square between the eyes. Oh. Elephant came at 42 kilometers an hour. The missile hit him here. Had it hit him here, here, Larry Norton will be dead. The elephants sprayed dust on their heads. The dust blinded the elephants, and the dust blinded him like this. So he couldn't see Larry, and he was screaming. And he threw his trunk like this, and Larry ducked and ran. I said, run! And we ran. The railway line was there. We heard this elephant coming from behind us. We dived to the railway line, and the guys, and the curio guys who sell at the market there, they heard this. And they've had this happen to them a lot in the villages before, so they know that sound. They were all there with rocks. Anyway, the elephant had seen them all there, and he screamed and went storming back into the bush. We didn't know why this elephant had gone into this frenzy, and a guide here had been killed 2 weeks before by an elephant, similar sort of circumstances. And we found, and what we've dug up from talking to Wildlife Trust and various people that are actually studying this, that elephants and other animals catch a disease known as plasticosis when they ingest too much plastic. And this creates an inflammation of the gut to the point where the pain is so excruciating that they can't eat and they eventually die. Now, an elephant that's in pain is very, very aggressive. And that we believe is what caused the elephant to nearly kill us that day. Me, Ben and Ryan got together and we thought, you know what, let's do it. Whatever it takes, let's find a solution. And it wasn't a let's start a business. It never was. It was let's find a solution and find a way to backfill that solution. And that's where we are today. And that's Bush Bottles.
We'd wanted to solve this problem for quite a long time, but once you see an elephant's stomach filled with plastic bottles, you realize you need to kick up the butt to get going. So how is Bush Bottles helping us out? In a number of different ways. First and foremost, our collection process, specifically, not so much the processing, but the collection is very expensive. And what's different about us is our team is out in the field with their hands dirty, collecting plastic out of the bush. You know, we're not going and picking up offcuts from some factory. And we're out there, and that's a slower process, it's an expensive process, but it's what needs to happen in order for us to actually make the impact that we need. So what Bush Bottles does with every single one of these that are sold, they fund the collection of 4 kgs of plastic. That's about 200 plastic water bottles. It's a lot. That comes to us. We can give that directly to our teams, and they can go out and collect this plastic. So the more funding we have in that sense, the greater impact that we can have with the bush. But it also means the more women that we can employ to go out and collect this plastic. So it's the wind under our wings. If we were a machine, it would be the oil that keeps us going.
So the way we're going to do all of this, Ben will be handling all the collections, and he's going to bring all of this plastic to the warehouse where we have a specialized extrusion process with a few admixtures that's going to turn all that plastic into Plas rock. And then this, we're going to mix it into concrete, and it's going to be locked away forever from the environment. So basically, concrete is sand, stone, and cement and water. This Plas rock replaces a portion of the stone in the concrete mix, and it can be used universally in any type of concrete. We've done tests, and it's passed all the tests. It's actually exceeded the requirements for the strength tests of concrete, and this will go in everything from foundations to walls to bricks to blocks, even concrete beams and columns. So it's got a very, very broad application. It's going everywhere. Another great thing about this process is that we can take every single piece of plastic from here. We're not sorting or sifting any of the plastic, even dirty in the state that it is. We're just going to shake it off and then it goes through the machine. So it's really indiscriminate as to the type of plastics that we're going to be processing. And we can do massive volumes, so we can clean up the whole of Victoria Falls plastic output. Our initial production capacity will be about 30 tons a month. In the beginning, we're going to be calibrating and testing and getting it all right. But after that, we're going to ramp up to the machine's maximum capacity, which is about 90 tons a month. And with the help of bush bottles, we can make this happen.
In Zimbabwe, the latest World Bank report, 6 million Zimbabweans live on under $1 a day. $1 a day. Zambia, 8 million. I don't know if you understand what $1 a day living is. Because of that, no wonder they subsistence poach. They chop wood for charcoal. People got to survive. And in a place where it's shoot to kill poaching, you risk your life every time you go subsistence poaching, but that's how desperate you are. We can turn this into a means to feed people. Our current collection ladies collect 50 kgs a day. That's a minimum of $5 a day and more. Sometimes we collect 80 up to $10. That's 5 times the $1 a day minimum. And they've actually done studies. I've gone down this rabbit hole, a research study, peer-reviewed studies. Every ecological zone where you introduce an easier means of income, subsistence poaching dramatically drops, and as does wood chopping. So we can actually turn what is a crisis into a real positive if we can give plastic a value. And that's where a partnership with Bush Bottles, where you buy one of these bottles, creates the value that I'm talking about. And that's what will create the systemic cleanup of this region and have the knock-on effects that we hope to achieve. It's a good bottle, but you can buy a good bottle anyway. What you're buying is a symbol of the fact that you give a shit. And that's far more powerful. What you're buying is meaning. What you're buying is saying, I stand for something. I stand for something.
We're about to drop a solution that could really change Victoria Falls, this region, Southern Africa.